This is how you feed people.
So, any other wild guesses before I tell you guys why?
This right here, I mean, because we all know you're great at barbecue. There is no better better. But this right here, I think you're gonna just expand on your culinary taste.
You're going to try it. Hey guys, the reason why we wanted to do the chef's table is because when we're at home, Patrice and I and the boys were always cooking, we're always creating all this stuff. And so much of it can't fit in here. And early on, in the food truck days, we used to try to say, all right, we made this great dish at home, let's try to feature that in the food truck. And it kind of became like just too much. And we wanted the barbecue to kind of stand on its own. And we needed an expression for some of the other ways we like to eat barbecue and some of the other dishes that we like to create at home. It's like, you know, being here, serving brisket, pulled pork, ribs, scratch meat sausage, chicken, every single day is great. We love it. We love it. People want barbecue. That's what they're looking for. So we said, you know what? Let's roll out this version of Friends and Fire to really show some other expressions of what we can do with our culinary skill set and have fun, you know, and make some great memories. That's what it always comes back to for us.
And taste your culinary skills.
I'm honored. It's fun. It's fun for us.
It is.
Barbecue has always been this for me. When Patrice and I first started, this how it felt at Uncle Leon's house. When I came back to Ocala from Greenwood and started cooking in the backyard, it just what it felt like in the backyard. My neighbor, you can open the thing and say, what you cooking today? Same thing as last week.
It's like when I learned how to drive, and all my family members like, no, you're learning how to drive a stick shift first. I'm like, no, why? Why? Like that way you just automatically know how to drive an automatic. Like, and I'll never forget, my sister, she was the one who taught me. It was like an impromptu thing, but there used to be a Holiday Inn right on that corner. And there's like a little incline as you pull out of the parking lot. And I must have sat there for 15, 20 minutes trying to learn the clutch. She's like, no. I'm not switching with you. I'm like, please, just let me. Why are we learning how to drive here? But that's why I know what you're talking about when it comes to learning on a stick burner first and then moving on to some of the other cookers. Look at that. Woo. Super important. Like this is equivalent to a plumber having a wrench, you know, or an artist having a paintbrush. When you're in the kitchen, you need a really, really good go-to knife. And I recommend a 9 or 10-inch chef's knife that's made out of either German or Japanese steel, something that has a high carbon content, which basically is just a fancy way of saying that this edge is gonna hold up. So as I'm cutting, if you go to Target right now and buy a knife, or Walmart and buy a knife, it'll look really cool handle. But after doing this to a hardened piece of wood a few times, what happens is that the apex of that blade starts to curve a little bit. And once it curves, that's where you get that tough cut and it doesn't cooperate with you as well. So a really, really good knife is something that I always recommend. It's important. And that if you're not failing, you're not trying. You know, and there's no shame in failing. You know, I have so much respect for people who've tried, and it didn't work out, and they tried, and it's like, bingo, this was it this time. Because it's easy to sit on the sidelines and say, oh, look at it, failed again. He didn't know what he's doing. She doesn't know what she's doing. You know, but it really does take something special to believe to the point where you try again. So I cooked one of my favorite things to cook on a smoker that is not a regular item here. Very, very versatile cut of meat. So we cooked about a 5-pound slab of pork belly today. So the way I did it is cut it into strips, about 1-inch strips, And then I cut those 1-inch strips into 1-inch cubes to make burnt ends. So we make pork belly burnt ends, season them with sweet heat, season them with our Big Lee's original dry rub.
That's better than a box of chocolates.
What's that?
Better than a box of chocolates.
So you guys will never guess what this is. So this is smoked salmon with sweet corn tamale cakes. These tamale cakes were made with masa. There's real corn in there. There's butter. The smoked salmon's got a little bit of dill on it. And this is sour cream with a little bit of adobo and a little bit of spices. And we topped it with some chives to give it a little herbaceous pop at the end. All right, so speaking of beef ribs.
Oh, wow.
I wish y'all could smell that fresh. Oh, yeah. See, the marbling is still intact in there.
Yeah.
That fat rendered, but it's still in the meat, so you can see it's still nice and juicy in there. Chewed through that membrane, just pops right off. With all that juice in there. Yeah, Uncle Leon gave me the inspiration. He never gave me a recipe. I only ever ate his food that one time that day. And it gave me that spark of inspiration. And later on that afternoon, Patrice and I headed back to Brandon, which is where her parents lived in Mississippi. Uncle Leon lived in Greenwood. And a couple of days later, we were back home, you know. But the impression that his food left on me, oh man, how do I put it? It just started something in me. It started this fire inside of me. So I came back home and I didn't know what I was doing. I'm throwing cuts of meat on the grill, burning it, undercooking it, just didn't know what I was doing. And 9 months after I had his food, he passed away. So I never cooked with him, never said, hey, Uncle Leon, how did you cook those ribs? I was just having fun experimenting in the backyard. And it was like 9 months later, he was gone, you know? So he never got a chance to see any of this. He never knew that a Big Lee's barbecue anything ever existed. So every time you guys mention Big Lee's, you might think you're talking about the restaurant or you're talking about me. You're actually talking about his inspiration, what his inspirations produced. So it's just a testament to the fact that every day you're living your life, you're doing whatever it is that you do to the best of your ability. You're inspiring somebody, whether you realize it or not. You are touching somebody's life in a genuine, authentic, real way that's gonna live on much, much, much longer than you. You know, his name has been said how many times since he's passed away, you know? How many times, you know? In a positive way. So that's my message to people. It was just a meal that I had with him. That was it. That was it. But that meal had so much more in it other than just flavor, texture, experience. There was love in his food. That love led to inspiration.